I'm Derek Lewis II. I'm actually the chair of Arkansas Black Philanthropy Collaborative. I'm also the president of the Derek Lewis Foundation. Arkansas oftentimes get this deficit sort of picture of what the deficit is in Arkansas, but I really think there's such a great opportunity across the state. It's a state that has so many resources. It's a hidden jewel. It's evolving, and our job is to bring those pieces together so that we're not number one or number two in the worst, but we're number one and two in the best testimonies of how you can thrive in the South. 10 years ago, Sharice West with the Winthrop Rockefeller Foundation came to the Derek Lewis Foundation, and she was like, Derek, we need to be organizing Black dollars. Speed it up. George Floyd happened. A couple of meetings happened after that. Sharice West and Corey Anderson came back and was like, all right, it's time now. We really do need to think about how we organize and think about Black philanthropy in Arkansas. We were supposed to just do a year of listening sessions, working with a few organizations and Black leaders within the Arkansas space. National Urban League, the Rockefeller Foundation, the Walton family, and others were coming to the table with these discussions with us. And so we created this advisory board that December, but the Community Foundation came in and said, hey, we have this Facebook grant of $1 million that we want to put in Black-led, Black-serving organizations. We didn't get the money, but we directed the dollars. We selected the organizations that will receive. Organizations received from $25,000 to $40,000. And that sort of launched us. In short, we were really created to be connected to nonprofits and funders. We're created to be a safe space for people of color in program management at foundations or funding agencies, and really thinking about how we would design and be solutions in this space, social justice, inequities in funding. And that's really how I took off. So we're a collaborative. We're what we call an intermediary. We're a conduit for other organizations. And actually, the Community Foundation is our fiscal agent. And so we have two funds. We have a general operating fund, and then we have a Give Black fund that is still in its accumulation phase. But we do give discretionary dollars to organizations within our operating fund. Talking about this Facebook $1 million. The Facebook grant was only a year process, but what we did on the front end was we were tasked with finding Black-led, Black-serving organizations. So we created an RFP with the parameters that were set by Facebook and the Community Foundation. We did have a filtering process. We brought different intergenerational space folks in to sort of look at what we were trying to do. We wanted to be very objective, and we ended up selecting 40 organizations to receive the grants from ACF. And so those organizations were from small to pretty big. A lot of those organizations were serving communities within the Little Rock area. When you think about those smaller organizations, $25,000 for a small organization propelled them to do some pretty significant things. It wasn't just the dollars, but also Facebook gave them, all our grantees, these Facebook marketing packages so they could market on Facebook. We immediately knew, given organizations, this influx of cash does not readily solve broader things. So we negotiated with Community Foundation to do strategic planning and capacity building for those 40 organizations. If they needed, marketing one-on-one, so we had these boot camps, marketing, finance, and so we really dove into more of the meat and potatoes of those organizations for about a year. Facebook didn't know us, so it's really the relationship we had with the Community Foundation. And that was built, over time from, again, our family foundation, working with the Community Foundation on various projects. Kara is a consultant in the nonprofit space and sort of has her hands in everything, and she's the go-to for many of the funders, if you will. And then many of these nonprofits we had some relationship with through our foundation. And again, Little Rock small, so our name, our father, and our foundation. So I think that was the trust piece. Facebook had no clue who we were, so our link was with the Community Foundation. Know the principles there, get to know that Community Foundation that's in your community, understand what they do and how they do, I think is important. Understand what your mission is as an organization. See if that mission is technically sound and logistically sound and mission sound with the Community Foundation that you're working within your community. We want folks to think of themselves as philanthropists, whether you give $1, whether you give an hour of time, whether you're at the executive level with millions of dollars. We think there's an opportunity for this intergenerational, cross-sector folks to come together. And I think that's the spirit of ABPC. I think the Giving Circles is sharing sort of the mission for ABPC. The other big thing that we do is, we're looking for nonprofit leaders and leaders in general. And I think that's how recruitment is going to be seen too. It's seeing these folks that are out there like-minded are coming together to be solutioners for these unanswered opportunities in Arkansas.